Hey, this is Jack Downs with a little add-on piece of information that you're going to find helpful for the webcam editing. As we learned in class today, the computers in 115 have a slightly different set of pre-prepared titles. And when you go to browse the titles, you will find you're missing the one that I used before. I used in my demo called title, basic title on background. So you end up with something like this, okay? When you make a title, you end up with just a text over the video, which makes the text a little hard to read and doesn't make it feel so much like a title slide. So anyway, for the titles exercise, that is fine. You don't have to change that. But when you go to the webcam editing, I think you would like to have what we could call like a screen, a gray semi-transparent background on it. So how can you do that? Well, there's actually a lot of ways to do it. But here's one. Notice that I can take this chunk of video, which is the text, and I can move it so I have a gap in between there. Just do remember that with video, the thing on top wins in a way, as opposed to audio where everything plays. So we want to put something below this, which is going to be the gray thing. Okay, so where can we get that? Well, if we go to this little new item thing here, we could choose black video. It's one of the choices. And it's choosing the size, the resolution and aspect ratio which our video is in, so that's okay. So we say okay. It makes it here in our little Media Bin Explorer browser area, right? And we can take it and drag it underneath here. All right, but it comes out as black, which is not bad. Theoretically, you could have a black on white on black. It's a very heavy slide, but that's okay. But you want it to be semi-transparent. So what can you do? With that black video selected, as I have mine now, if you go to Effect Controls, one of the choices is Opacity. See opacity? And if I grab that opacity, I could go and type in there, or where's my slider? There's my slider. I could just change the slider, and I think something in the range of, oh, I don't know, 80% or so, 75% or so is probably a good idea. All right. That also means, though, that we probably should have add our crossfade to this also. I can do it with a right-click, Apply Default Transition, because it'll apply the video only because there's no audio hooked to that. I wouldn't want to do that if there was audio hooked to it. It also means now that when we get the fade, we're going to fade the gray and the text at the same time. Myself, I kind of like the idea of offsetting that a little bit so that the text fades and then the gray fades. You know, that's a way to think about it. I'll offset it so that 1 second happens there, one happens, and the other happens. The text fades first, then the gray fades. That's up to you whether you want to go to that detail with that. But so get black video, drag it underneath there. Why underneath? Well, what happens if I put it on top? Well, you see, I can't put it on top because there's not enough video tracks. You can always get new video tracks. Right-click, Add Tracks. Yes, just add one, or we can add more than one. I could move this over it, right? Honestly, that's okay, but we'll look at the text is dulled now too. We want the text to be sharp, but the background to be dulled, so that's why we don't want to do it that way. All right, so I hope that will help you and you get a little bit of advanced information about the way we can use chunks of video underneath things and layer things a little bit more too. So hopefully that will help you as you're going to do your webcam editing.